It's 10:30 p.m. September 10th, Wednesday hump day. You can kiss my grits. Flo died from the TV show Diner, the actress. You can just kiss my grits. Guy from Supertramp died the other day, I saw. One of the original lead singers, writers. A lot of famous people, rock and rollers, are dying. That's one thing. We all die sometime. Nobody lives forever, do they? The young 31-year-old guy, some kind of youth movement leader, and got shot and killed in Utah, giving a speech at a college campus. No idea why it happened. But the guy's dead from an assassination, they call it, political assassination. It brings up thoughts I had when Trump got shot and hit, grazed. It could have killed him. Security for these things should include cameras and drones with cameras monitoring the area and catching these guys before they do anything. Now, as I was saying at Walmart, they'll send me a receipt even when I don't type my telephone number in and use cash, don't use a familiar credit card, debit card. And I guess they have facial recognition on the cash register. Now, Walmart's got so much money, they can afford to do that stuff. And they can afford, and they can use it all to make more money. Like solar panels. They have enough money to generate their own electricity. All that upfront cost, they can afford it. And they can recoup it over time and save money over time. Now, it seems to me like all these security events, concerts, football, everything. People are getting crazy. There's always somebody crazy somewhere. Security cameras should be part of every public event. Drones with cameras, especially President Trump, political campaigns, whatever. Who's going to pay for it? I don't know. But seems like the technology's there. And maybe they could spy out people doing before they do something with guns and things, suspicious looking people, and catch them before they do anything. And I'm sure the technology's there. Seems like that'd be a pretty good company of business to get into. Have your people call my people on that one. I don't know. Shit. I mean, I don't have anything right now other than trading, day trading, whatever. That's the only thing on my mind. And my own personal issues, personal health issues, and whatever, roommate issues. And seems like that'd be a pretty good damn business right there. This young 31-year-old political person, whatever he was, activist, or trying to help young people, whatever, got shot and killed, giving a speech at a college campus, Utah. It's ridiculous. It's just fucking ridiculous. People should not let people become motivated to do terrible things like that. And I don't know if they have any idea who did it. It says they took 2 people into custody, but they said they were not guilty. They weren't one. So I don't know if they have any clues about who did this or not. These satellites, they say satellites can focus in on, see people on the ground. Well, have satellites focus on these events with cameras to monitor. I don't know. All that shit costs money. Who's going to pay for it? Yeah. Seems like that needs to be a major consideration for all football stadiums, baseball, basketball, concerts, everything, political events. I think that needs to become standard procedure. You want to call it an invasion of privacy? I don't. I just call it, safety. Only the guilty have something to hide. I don't got anything to hide. So if you want to take a picture of me at the concert or whatever, I don't give a shit. You want to pat me down like, airport security going into the Ale House in Westport. It's no longer the Ale House. Whatever it is now, I don't really care. I mean, there wasn't anybody in there. I went in there in the Westport Art Fair. There was hardly anybody in there. It's not called the Westport Ale House anymore. I guess I read that it went out of business or sold or something. But somebody's in the real estate, new sign, new name. If they, I'm sure they did have it's in Westport, so violence is not uncommon in Westport. It happens. People get drunk, they get in fights, and gunplay people have been shot and killed down there. And I don't go down there that much anymore. I was down there, it was daylight when I walked by there. I've never, I guess there's a couple of times I've had some people look at me crazy, or one time I got held up by guns in the Point parking lot at night. The Point, that's not West, kind of like between the Westport and the Plaza. One time I was in the Westport coffee shop at night. Some guy stumbled in. He was bleeding all over the place. He said somebody cracked him over the head with a beer bottle. And I told him to lay down, and I didn't have a cell phone. I said, does anybody have a cell phone? Call 911. This guy was not young. He was acting like his buddy hit him over the head with a beer bottle. He was bleeding all over the place, and shit happens down there. I mean, they probably need to invest in security cameras all over there, all over the bar district, Kansas Power and Light, Plaza, where shit happens once in a while. Schools. Seems like there's a lot of applications for security cameras and drones that monitor every place and maybe give a heads up before something happens. It says Trump's tariffs or something may affect farmers who can't sell their crop to China or something. Agriculture, in China, U.S. agriculture sent to China. I don't know how much it is or what. I guess it's fairly big, who knows. Stock market, Oracle stock went up. It was up $100 at one point. Larry Ellison, the founder of Oracle, they said still owns 40%, and he made like $110 billion. His wealth increased by $110 billion today, with Oracle stock going up. It was up $100, I think, at one point I saw. It was up like $30 or $40 in after hours. And it said they were just giving a forecast for future that was blowing away analyst predictions. So I guess you got to take that with a great of salt that they could be exaggerating. What are the legal implications of giving earnings reports and forward guidance? I don't know. Are there legal issues involved with that? Probably. I don't know. But it did shoot up 100, and it dropped some from that 100, 15 or 20, which is what I said yesterday. This Oracle is going to shoot up tomorrow, and then it's going to come down some. And it looks like the whole stock market's ready to come down some. The Dow Jones was down a fair amount. And a lot of charts look like they're too high and ready to drop. Technology. Some of these semiconductor stocks are sky high. And some of them dropped off a lot. But the ones who dropped off a lot, AMD, NVIDIA, they started coming back some yesterday, today. And so I guess Broadcom, they said. I saw something that Broadcom semiconductors are maybe like they're getting a big chunk of the business, but it's really not taking, I guess at first the increase in some of these stocks equaled the decrease in some of the other ones, but in reality it's not it's not really affecting. They're not taking away business from the ones like AMD and Nvidia, and it all evens out. But the ones who dropped off a lot started coming back a fair amount, and there's still a few of them that are floating high in nosebleed areas. And I look like they're ready to come down. And the entire stock market, you know, I don't know. We might see a correction here or something, a drop off here tomorrow and the next day. Looks like it going to happen. Yeah, 10% correction for September. From this run up we've had. It's in the cards. It's just forecast. Will it happen? Maybe, maybe not. But reversion to the mean in the stock market does happen. It usually does. It happens. I mean, nothing goes up forever and nothing goes down forever. So it's floating in unprecedented high territories. It's had a few little drop offs and gone back up higher to new highs. So we can have a little drop off here, or we can have a major 10% drop off. I don't know. See what happens. Play it by ear. Walmart. All the people in Kansas City bugged me when I was going to Walmarts all over the metro, doing Uber and CVS. And they started bugging me every time I went in those places. But Walmart, CVS, I'll be the chairman for $1 billion a week. You know my formula. $4 billion a year hedge fund paycheck. I'm 12 times better, probably 120 times better. We'll say 12 times better. So that's $4 billion a month, 4 weeks a month. That's $1 billion a week. I take it. I deserve it. I earned the right to have that much money. And all the disrespect, Merrill Lynch, Smith, Barney, PaineWebber, you owe me $1 trillion, punks, and every person involved. They don't need a bullet in their neck or head, do they? They need something they need to be fucked up, though. They do need to be fucked up. Because they're punks. They're punks in the courthouse, police, who've done this to me. So I do this shit. Did they murder my real dad and that idiot stole his identity? I'd say there's a 90% chance they did, and 10% chance the guy's just an idiot who lost his fucking just doing anything he can get away with. That theory's real too. Everybody ends up doing anything they can get away with, and everybody who's been fucked over don't give a shit. When I was in jail, one guy said everybody in here does something because somebody did something to them. So everybody who's been fucked over gets the attitude like me, we do whatever the hell we can get away with because I've already been fucked over, so I don't care. I don't care anymore. I haven't got any reason, no motivation to care. People who don't care anymore become reckless, wild, dangerous, don't care. Human nature, common sense. So hand me $1 trillion, punks. End the shit. And all the shit who fucked me over, identify them and fuck them over. Worse than they fucked me over, because I should have never been fucked over to begin with. They started fucking with me when I was 16, so I got no fucking apologies. I've never touched anybody, never done anything to anybody other than, verbal, written, I don't like you, or fuck you, or suck me. Yeah. It's because everything started happening when I was 16. That's why, punks. Shit trail never ends. Summer, 21st night, September. Well, that's 11 days. 11 more days of summer. Is that the last day of summer? Something like that. 21st, 22nd, somewhere in there. It's getting hot here again. 80s, 90s. Air conditioners back on. See what happens tomorrow.